Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe and leave a like. It means everything to us. Please share this video with someone you care about and switch on post notifications so you won't miss any future videos. Thank you for always supporting. Now, relax and let's begin. Jennifer Adebayo didn't announce her victories with noise. She wore them like quiet scars early mornings, late nights, and the soft click of her heels on office tiles long after everyone had gone home. At Danjuma Holdings, people praised her calm leadership, but they didn't know the cost. At home, the air was heavier. Martin smiled for visitors, held her chair at events, kissed her forehead for cameras. Yet, the moment the doors closed, he became distant eyes on his phone, laughter too forced, affection too measured. That night, Jennifer set 2 plates on the dining table. "You didn't eat lunch again," Martin said, like he was reading from a script. She forced a small smile. "I was busy." He nodded, absent. She watched him scroll, thumb moving fast, face blank. "Martin," she tried gently, "are we okay?" He looked up, then away. "Jen, don't start. I'm just tired." She swallowed her words with the food. Tired didn't explain the coldness, but she chose peace over truth again. Before the boardrooms, there was a younger Martin who used to carry Jennifer's market bag like it was a crown. He'd stand between her and street hecklers, voice calm but firm. "Leave her," he'd say, and his hand would find hers like a promise. Jennifer remembered the day she cried because a client refused to pay. Martin sat on the floor with her in their tiny apartment counting coins. "We'll build something," he said. "I'll be your shield until you can be your own." In the present, Jennifer stared at that memory like a photograph that was fading. On their anniversary, she brought out a small box, nothing flashy, just cufflinks engraved with MA. He blinked like he didn't recognize romance anymore. "You didn't have to," he muttered. "I wanted to," she replied. "I'm proud of you." His jaw tightened. "Proud," he repeated, like the word tasted bitter. Jennifer's heart sank. She wanted the old Martin back, the one who believed love wasn't a competition. Jennifer began noticing the tiny cuts that didn't bleed immediately. Martin corrected her in front of staff. "What she means is," he'd say, smiling, as if helping her. He'd joke at dinners, "Madam CEO will approve it," and everyone laughed. But Jennifer heard the bite under the sweetness. At home, he'd complain about "your people" calling her for everything, as if her responsibilities were personal insults. And when she tried to be soft, he called it control. When she tried to be quiet, he called it pride. One evening, she came home exhausted to find Martin in the mirror adjusting his tie. "You're looking sharp," she offered. He didn't smile. "I have to," he said. "Your world is full of important people." Jennifer paused. "Our world," she corrected gently. He faced her, eyes hard for a second. "Is it?" he asked. The question hit her chest like a slap. She wanted to shout, but her voice came out small. "Martin, I've never tried to make you small." He laughed once, dry and short. "Maybe you didn't need to try." Lisa Adebayo didn't enter Jennifer's home like a visitor. She entered like an inspector. The first time she saw Jennifer's office plaque founder and CEO, Jennifer Adebayo, her mouth tightened. "So, this is how it is," she murmured. At family gatherings, Lisa's favorite sentence always found its way into the room. "A man must lead." She said it smiling, but it was a knife dressed as advice. She tugged Martin aside, whispering loud enough for Jennifer to hear. "My son, don't let a woman carry your name like a handbag." Jennifer tried respect. She served food, offered greetings, even bought Lisa expensive wrappers during festive seasons. Still, Lisa returned with the same poison. One Sunday, Lisa patted Jennifer's shoulder in front of cousins. "You're hardworking," she said. "But remember, men don't like women who shine too much." Jennifer froze. Martin looked away. After Lisa left, Jennifer asked quietly, "Why didn't you say anything?" Martin sighed. "Jen, it's my mother." "Must you make it a fight?" Jennifer whispered. "So you let her make me a shadow?" He replied, "Stop acting like a victim." Philip Adebayo carried entitlement like perfume, strong, loud, and impossible to ignore. He visited more often now, sitting in Jennifer's living room like he paid rent. He asked Martin questions that sounded harmless but were loaded. "So, when will you finally be the boss in your own house?" he teased. When Martin chuckled weakly, Philip pushed harder. "Guy, you're a man. People are laughing behind you." Jennifer would hear it from the kitchen and feel her stomach knot. One afternoon, Philip showed up at Jennifer's office uninvited. He greeted staff like a director, then walked into Jennifer's space without knocking. "Madam CEO," he said, eyes sweeping the room. "Nice office." Jennifer stood polite. "Philip, is everything okay?" He smiled. "I came to see my brother. He should be here more. A man needs a seat at the table." Jennifer's voice stayed calm. "Martin supports me. We're a team." Philip's smile turned sharp. "Team? In marriage, there is captain. Don't confuse things." Later, Martin blamed Jennifer. "Why were you cold to him?" she whispered. "Because he's hungry for what isn't his." When Mr. Danjuma called a board meeting, Jennifer entered with her usual composure, but she felt the tension in the room. Too many cleared throats, too many careful smiles. Natalia Cross sat beside her, pen poised, eyes alert. Danjuma didn't waste words. "Jennifer," he began, "the market trusts you, but investors want a public-facing structure, something they understand." Another board member added softly, "A male CEO can absorb some heat during expansion. Optics matters." The word optics tasted like insult wrapped in business. Jennifer nodded slowly, hiding the sting. "So you want me to step down?" she asked. Danjuma raised a hand. "Not step down. Reframe. Founder, chair, strategy. Let someone be the face." The room waited. Jennifer's thoughts ran home Martin's pride, his wounds, his mother's voice. A painful idea formed. If I give Martin this title, maybe our marriage stops bleeding. After the meeting, Natalia walked with her. "Do you trust him?" Natalia asked quietly. Jennifer swallowed. "I want to." Natalia's eyes softened. Wanting isn't the same as knowing. Don't gift power to fix love. Jennifer chose a quiet evening to bring it up, the kind where rain tapped lightly on the window and the generator hummed in the background. She made Martin's favorite meal and placed it before him like an offering. "The board wants a public CEO," she said gently. Martin looked up fast. "And?" Jennifer hesitated, then exhaled. "I want it to be you." For a second, his eyes lit, then he controlled it, like excitement was something shameful. "Me?" he asked, voice careful. Jennifer nodded. "We can lead together. It can help us." Martin's smile arrived late, like a bus that forgot its route. "That's big," he said. Jennifer tried to read him. "Are you happy?" she asked. He laughed lightly. "Of course, any man will be happy." The words didn't sound like love. They sounded like relief. Jennifer reached for his hand. "I'm doing this because I believe in you," she whispered. Martin squeezed her fingers, but his eyes drifted away. "Yes," he murmured. "Believe." Jennifer didn't know why that word made her chest ache. That night, when he turned to sleep, she stared at his back and prayed her gift wouldn't become her funeral. 2 days later, Martin dressed up on a Saturday morning. "Where are you going?" Jennifer asked, folding laundry. He avoided her gaze. To see my mom. Philip said there's something important. Jennifer's hands paused. Should I come? She asked softly. Martin's answer came too quick. No, it's family discussion. Jennifer felt the line drawn in front of her like a fence. I'm your family too, she said. Martin sighed. Jen, don't start again. He grabbed his keys. I'll be back. He returned late, face tight, shoulders stiff, like he had carried something heavy on his back. Jennifer warmed food for him, but he barely touched it. How was it? She asked. Martin stared at his plate. Fine. Jennifer sat opposite him. Martin, talk to me. He pushed the chair back slightly, irritation flickering. What do you want me to say? Jennifer's voice trembled. The truth. Martin's jaw clenched. The truth is, you people think everything is about feelings. Some things are bigger. Jennifer blinked. Bigger than us? Martin stood. I'm going to bed. Jennifer watched him leave and realized the marriage wasn't splitting loudly. It was splitting quietly, one closed door at a time. Jennifer tried to love him gently, like you hold a cracked glass careful not to break it further. She texted him encouragement. Proud of you. She bought him shirts for meetings. She spoke well of him to the board. But at home, Martin became a wall that smiled. When she asked about his day, he answered with one word. When she tried to hug him, he stiffened, then hugged back like a duty. Jennifer began shrinking herself, unconsciously laughing less, speaking less, apologizing more. One night, she finally asked, Do you even want this CEO role? Martin didn't look up from his phone. Why are you always questioning? He snapped. Jennifer's eyes watered. Because you feel far, Martin scoffed. Maybe you're the one far. Always busy being madame, Jennifer whispered. I'm busy building our life, he replied coldly. Your life. The words sank deep. Jennifer pressed her palm to her chest like she could hold her heart in place. Martin, she said, voice small. I miss you, he shrugged. You miss control. Jennifer flinched like she'd been slapped with the truth he invented to justify his distance. It happened on a random afternoon, not a dramatic one. Jennifer came home early, hoping to surprise Martin. She heard his voice in the living room, low and tense, phone on speaker. She paused behind the hallway wall, not wanting to interrupt. Mom, calm down, Martin was saying. Jennifer's stomach tightened. Then Lisa's voice came through, sharp as broken glass. Don't be foolish. Let her make you CEO first. After that, you'll divorce her. She'll learn respect. Jennifer's breath stopped. Martin answered, strained. I don't want to hurt her. Lisa snapped. Then remain her boy. Let people call you husband of CEO. Philip's voice joined, smug. Guy, once you enter that seat, everything becomes easier. You can remove her. Jennifer's knees went weak. She heard Martin's final words, like a sentence being passed. After she makes me CEO, I'll divorce her. She won't even see it coming. Then silence. Martin had forgotten to press end. Jennifer stepped back slowly, hand over her mouth to trap her sob. Her ears rang. Her body felt cold, as if her blood had left. In that moment, her marriage wasn't a home. It was a plan against her. She walked into the kitchen quietly, turned on the tap to mask her shaking, and stared at her reflection in the stainless sink. So, I'm a ladder, she whispered, not a wife. Behind her, Martin laughed lightly at something on his phone, unaware. Jennifer's tears fell without sound. She didn't scream. She didn't confront. She simply listened to the new truths settle in her bones. The man she loved was being coached to destroy her. That night, Jennifer lay beside Martin as if nothing had happened. She faced the ceiling, eyes dry but burning, because tears were no longer enough. Martin slept quickly, breathing steady, like a man whose conscience had been folded neatly and stored away. Jennifer replayed every word she heard. Lisa's certainty, Philip's hunger, Martin's surrender. Her heart kept asking the same foolish question. Why didn't you tell me you were drowning? Why did you choose to push me under to breathe? In the darkness, she remembered Martin's old hands, wiping her tears in their small apartment. She wondered when those hands became capable of signing her pain. She turned slightly and watched him sleep. Martin, she whispered, almost hoping he would wake and confess everything. He didn't. Her throat tightened. Do you know what you've done to me? She asked the ceiling. The only answer was the hum of the fan. Jennifer's mind began to shift, not into rage, but into survival. If they are planning with documents, she thought, then I will protect myself with documents. And for the first time in a long time, she stopped praying for love and started praying for strength. In the morning, Martin kissed her cheek. You're up early, he said casually, like last night wasn't a betrayal in progress. Jennifer forced her voice to stay steady. Board call, she replied. Martin nodded and sipped his tea. You're doing great, he said, but the compliment sounded like he was reassuring a worker, not a wife. Jennifer smiled anyway. Thanks. She studied him how his eyes avoided hers when he mentioned the CEO transition, how he seemed impatient, like he wanted the title to arrive faster. At the office, Jennifer moved like a woman balancing a tray of glass. Kemi, her assistant, noticed. Ma, are you okay? Jennifer's smile didn't reach her eyes. Just tired. In her private office, Natalia called. Your voice sounds thin, Natalia observed. Jennifer hesitated, then said, We need to talk later. Natalia's tone sharpened. Is it about Martin? Jennifer swallowed. Yes. Natalia paused. Don't panic. Don't rush. Just observe and plan. Jennifer stared at her calendar. At the CEO event date circled neatly. She whispered to herself, Slowly, I'll do this slowly. She refused to let heartbreak make her reckless. Jennifer couldn't unhear Lisa's voice. It was the voice of a woman who believed she owned her son's spine. Jennifer began to connect old moments. She had ignored Lisa calling her this girl. Even after marriage, Philip asking about company accounts, cousins suddenly greeting Jennifer with forced respect. It wasn't romance that threatened her. It was family politics. Still, Martin's words remained the deepest wound. He could have defended her. He could have said no. Instead, he chose strategy over love. That evening, Jennifer tested a gentle question. Martin, she said while he watched TV, your mom, does she like me at all? Martin sighed dramatically. Jen, not everything is about you. Jennifer's voice stayed calm. She told you to divorce me. Martin froze just a second, but Jennifer saw it. He turned quickly. What are you saying? Jennifer shrugged lightly, pretending. I'm saying she keeps pushing you to lead. It's stressing you. Martin's eyes narrowed. Stop imagining things. Jennifer nodded, swallowing the scream in her chest. Okay, she said softly. Inside, her heart whispered, so you lie to my face too. Jennifer didn't become a founder by being blind. She began watching patterns like a quiet detective in her own home. Martin started asking unusual questions. How are shares structured again? Who signs what in the transition? If a CEO wants to change vendors, how fast can it happen? Each question sounded like curiosity, but Jennifer heard the footsteps of a plan. At the same time, Lisa's calls increased. Martin stepped outside to answer, voice low, returning with tight shoulders. Jennifer opened a private notebook. She wrote dates, comments, requests. She didn't spy, she simply listened. One afternoon, Philip texted Jennifer directly. Sister-in-law, hope you're good. When Martin becomes CEO, I have some contractors I can recommend. Jennifer stared at the message until her eyes stung. Contractors meant access. Access meant money. She replied politely. We'll follow procurement policy. Philip responded with a laughing emoji that felt like disrespect. That night, Jennifer told herself, They think I'm soft. They think love made me foolish. She touched her wedding ring and whispered, "Love won't blind me again." Natalia Cross came to Jennifer's office with her usual calm tailored suit, quiet confidence, eyes that missed nothing. She closed the door behind her and studied Jennifer's face. "You're carrying pain like a handbag," Natalia said. Jennifer laughed weakly. "I'm fine." Natalia leaned forward. "Jennifer, I work with law for a living. I can smell fear and silence." Jennifer's throat tightened. The words burst out softly. He forgot to end a call. Jennifer told her everything: Lisa's command, Philip's hunger, Martin's promise to divorce her after becoming CEO. Natalia didn't gasp. She didn't dramatize. She simply listened until Jennifer's voice broke. When Jennifer finished, Natalia said quietly, "This is not a movie villain situation. This is pressure, manipulation, and a weak man trying to prove something." Jennifer wiped tears quickly. "So what do I do?" Natalia's voice was steady. "Slowly. We protect you slowly. We don't expose anything yet. You don't confront until your safety is written in ink." Jennifer swallowed. "I still love him," she admitted. Natalia nodded. "Then protect yourself without destroying him. But don't let love become your blindfold." Lisa called Jennifer directly for the first time in weeks, voice sweet like honey that had been warmed too long. "Jennifer, my daughter," she began. "I heard you want to make Martin CEO. God will bless you. But you know, Philip needs a job. Put him as head of operations. Family should enjoy." Jennifer's heart pounded, but she kept her voice respectful. "Mama, we have HR processes. Philip can apply." But Lisa cut her off. "Apply? In his brother's company?" Jennifer breathed slowly. "It's not Martin's company. It's the company's company." The silence on the line turned sharp. Lisa's voice dropped. "Listen to me. Don't embarrass my family. You've already carried our name too high." Jennifer's hand trembled, but she didn't back down. "I respect you, Mama, but I won't break policy." Lisa laughed cold. "Policy? That's the excuse you women use to control men." Jennifer's voice softened but hardened inside. "No, Mama. Policy is what keeps people from stealing." The line went quiet for a second. Then Lisa hissed, "You will regret this." Jennifer ended the call and leaned against the wall, shaking because standing up felt like betrayal, even though it was survival. Jennifer ran into Josh Eze at a cafe near the office. Josh was Martin's friend from university, the groomsman who cried at their wedding, the man Jennifer once trusted like family. When he saw her, his smile came too slow. "Jennifer," he greeted. "Long time." Jennifer nodded. "Josh." They sat. Josh's hands fidgeted with his cup. Jennifer watched him and felt the truth circling like a bird. "How is Martin?" she asked calmly. Josh swallowed. "He's okay." Jennifer leaned forward slightly. "Josh, you look like someone hiding something." Josh forced a laugh. "No, no." Jennifer's eyes held his. "I heard a call," she said quietly. Josh froze. His eyes flicked away like a guilty child. Jennifer's voice stayed gentle. "I'm not here to fight. I just need to understand." Josh's shoulders dropped. "Jennifer, it's complicated." Jennifer's throat burned. "Complicated enough to divorce me?" Josh flinched at the word. "He doesn't want to," Josh whispered. "But his family." Jennifer's eyes filled. "So you know." Josh nodded slowly, shame painted on his face. "I tried to talk to him. He's trapped." Jennifer's heart twisted. Trapped men still make choices. And Martin had chosen silence. Jennifer didn't sleep for 2 nights after meeting Josh. Her mind kept replaying his words. "He's trapped." She pressed Josh again through text, careful, patient. Finally, he agreed to meet Natalia too. In Natalia's office, Josh sat stiff, eyes lowered. "Tell us what you know," Natalia said, voice calm but firm. Josh exhaled shakily. Martin has a past incident from his youth, a fight. Someone got badly hurt. It never went to court because his uncle settled it, but the family kept documents. Jennifer's chest tightened. Documents? She echoed. Josh nodded. Lisa saved everything. She keeps reminding him, if he disobeys, she'll expose it. She says it will destroy him and your company's reputation. Jennifer felt nauseous. So the divorce plan wasn't just greed. It was fear mixed with pride, packaged as power. Natalia asked, what does Lisa want? Josh's laugh was bitter. Control, contracts, a seat at your table. She wants Martin to be the door they all enter through. Jennifer stared at the floor, tears dripping silently. So he planned to destroy me to save himself. Natalia's gaze softened. Or to satisfy them. Either way, he chose the wrong sacrifice. The first heartbreak was hearing Martin say the word divorce, like a business decision. The second heartbreak was realizing he had been suffering quietly and still didn't trust her with it. Jennifer would have fought for him if he had told her. She would have protected him if he had confessed. Instead, he treated her like an obstacle to escape, not a partner to lean on. That realization hurt deeper than betrayal. It made her question every "I love you" he had ever said. That night, Jennifer sat in the car outside her house, hands on the steering wheel, breathing through pain. When she entered, Martin was in the living room, smiling at a joke on TV. "Hey," he said brightly. Jennifer's stomach turned. "Hey," she answered softly. Martin noticed her face. "You look stressed," he said. Jennifer forced a small laugh. "Work," Martin nodded. "Don't worry. Once the CEO transition happens, things will be easier." The sentence landed like a threat. Jennifer looked at him, eyes wet. "Easier for who?" she asked. Martin blinked, then smiled too quickly. "For us," he lied. Jennifer turned away before he saw her tears. "For us," she repeated in her mind. He can't even say it without lying. Jennifer considered revenge the way you consider fire. Tempting, warm, powerful, but capable of burning everything you built. She imagined exposing Lisa publicly, playing the recording at a family gathering, watching Martin's face collapse. She imagined the satisfaction of seeing Philip beg, but then she imagined the other side. Headlines, investors panicking, staff confused, Martin destroyed, her marriage reduced to scandal. Jennifer didn't want noise. She wanted truth and peace. She met Mrs. Owolabi, her aunt and mentor, at a quiet restaurant. After listening, Mrs. Owolabi sighed deeply. "My daughter," she said, holding Jennifer's hand, "some men are not wicked. They are weak. And weak people do wicked things when pressured." Jennifer whispered, "So I should forgive?" Mrs. Owolabi shook her head. "No. You should protect yourself first. Then you can decide whether love deserves rebuilding." Jennifer looked down. "I still see the boy who carried my bag." Mrs. Owolabi's eyes softened. "Then save him if he can be saved. But don't let him drown you to prove he can swim." Jennifer nodded slowly, tears dropping into her eyes like silent prayers. The board expected Jennifer to announce the CEO transition timeline. She did calm, professional, composed. Martin sat at the edge of the meeting room, shoulders squared, trying to look like the man he imagined himself becoming. Jennifer watched him and felt grief rise like smoke. She was still handing him something precious, but now she was doing it with guardrails. Natalia slid a folder toward Jennifer, draft governance documents, clauses, board control measures. Jennifer's fingers tightened around her pen. Slowly, she told herself again. At home, Martin was unusually attentive. He bought flowers, cooked dinner, and even apologized for being distant. Jennifer listened to the apology like someone listening to a song they used to love, sweet but painful. "I want us to be okay," Martin said, voice soft. Jennifer nodded. "Me too." He reached for her hands. "You won't regret trusting me," he promised. Jennifer looked into his eyes, and saw something complicated love buried under fear, pride, and pressure, she answered gently, I hope not. Martin smiled, relieved. He thought her calm meant ignorance. Jennifer's calm was not ignorance, it was preparation. Natalia helped Jennifer design a structure that looked like surrender from the outside but functioned like protection underneath. Martin would be named CEO, but major financial approvals, vendor changes, and governance decisions required board sign-off. Jennifer would become founder chair with veto rights on strategic assets, intellectual property, and ownership decisions. It wasn't punishment, it was prevention. If Martin truly wanted to lead with love, the structure wouldn't harm him. If he wanted to harm Jennifer, the structure would stop him. Jennifer invited Martin for a planning session. She spoke gently, like a wife building her husband's confidence. I want you to shine, she said. Martin smiled, pride warming his face. Finally, he murmured. Jennifer ignored the word. There will be governance, she continued. The board is strict during expansion. Martin's smile flickered. So I won't have full power? Jennifer touched his arm. It's not about power. It's about stability. Martin forced a laugh. Okay, as long as I'm CEO. Jennifer nodded, hiding the ache. He wanted the title more than the partnership. The trap wasn't cruel, it was honest. It would reveal what Martin truly valued. Lisa began acting like Jennifer had already been defeated. She called relatives, announcing, my son is taking his rightful place. Philip started visiting Jennifer's office again, this time with confidence, greeting staff like an owner. Jennifer watched quietly, letting them overstep, because overconfidence makes people careless. Kemi began forwarding Jennifer emails from unknown vendors recommended by Philip. Jennifer saved them all. At home, Martin's posture changed. He spoke more boldly. He corrected Jennifer more often. When I become CEO, I'll reorganize some departments, he said casually, like he was already wearing the crown. Jennifer nodded slowly. We'll follow process, she replied. Martin chuckled. Process, he repeated, mocking. Sometimes I wonder if you hide behind policies because you are afraid of letting go. Jennifer looked at him, eyes steady. I'm not afraid of letting go, she said softly. I'm afraid of losing myself. Martin's smile faded. You always make it deep. Jennifer stood and carried plates to the sink. She couldn't tell him the truth. I'm afraid of you. Jennifer hosted a dinner, carefully planned, softly lit, with enough witnesses to prevent lies later. Lisa arrived in full grandness, dressed like a queen entering a conquered land. Philip came with loud laughter and a hunger that filled the room before his body did. Martin sat beside Jennifer, smiling, trying to look like the man his family wanted. Jennifer watched them like a calm storm. Natalia attended too, quietly observing, recording details mentally, not with a phone. Everything was being documented legally, socially, emotionally. During dinner, Lisa raised her glass. To Martin, she announced, finally becoming what he should have been from the beginning. Jennifer's jaw tightened, but she smiled. Philip added, and to Jennifer, for finally understanding that a woman can't lead forever. Laughter erupted. Jennifer's eyes stung. Martin laughed too small, forced, but present. That was the moment Jennifer felt something die. Later, Lisa leaned toward Jennifer. After this CEO thing, she whispered sweetly, learn to behave like a wife, not a boss. Jennifer's voice remained polite. I am both, she replied. Lisa smiled with teeth. We'll see. Jennifer smiled back, gentle and terrifying. Yes, she said softly. We will. After dessert, Natalia stood calmly with a folder. Since we're together, Natalia said, voice smooth, Jennifer asked me to clarify new governance policies for the transition. Lisa's smile tightened. Philip's eyes widened, suspicious. Natalia continued, this is standard for expansion and investor protection. She read slowly. No immediate family member of executive leadership may hold vendor contracts, procurement influence, or employment positions without independent board review. The room went silent, like someone turned off oxygen. Philip laughed sharply. What nonsense is that? Natalia didn't blink. It's law-backed governance, she replied. Lisa's voice rose, sweet turning sour. So you're blocking family from enjoying what is ours. Jennifer finally spoke, soft but firm. It isn't yours, Mama. Martin's chair creaked as he shifted uncomfortably. Philip pointed at Jennifer. You're still controlling. Jennifer's eyes were wet but steady. No, she said. I'm protecting. Lisa leaned toward Martin, hissing. You see, she still wants to shame you. Martin looked at Jennifer, trapped between two fires. Jennifer felt her heart throb painfully. This was the slow burn watching the man she loved decide who mattered more. Philip stood up abruptly, knocking his chair back. All of you are joking, he barked. Martin is becoming CEO. That means this company is family business now. Natalia's voice remained calm. CEO does not mean ownership. Philip scoffed. Ownership? She's a woman. Everything she has belongs to her husband. The words slapped the room. Jennifer's face drained, not from fear, from humiliation. She looked at Martin, waiting for him to defend her. Martin's lips parted, then closed. Silence. That silence was louder than Philip's insult. Jennifer rose slowly. Philip, she said quietly, sit down. Philip laughed bitterly. See, still ordering men around. He turned to Martin. Guy, are you a man or a handbag? Martin's eyes flashed with anger, but not enough. Lisa added softly, my son, don't let them disgrace you. Jennifer's hands trembled at her sides. She wanted to scream, but she refused to give them the satisfaction of seeing her break publicly. She turned and walked to the kitchen, tears finally spilling. Behind the door, she pressed her palm to her mouth and sobbed silently, not because Philip insulted her, but because Martin watched and did nothing. Later that night, after the guests left, the house felt like a battlefield after war. Quiet, messy, and cold. Martin stood in the living room, rubbing his forehead. That dinner was unnecessary, he muttered. Jennifer stared at him, eyes swollen. Unnecessary? She repeated softly. Martin sighed. You brought Natalia to read rules like we're criminals. Jennifer walked to the table, picked up her phone, and sat opposite him. Her voice was calm, but it shook. Martin, I heard your call. Martin froze. What call? He lied instantly. Jennifer clicked play. Lisa's voice filled the room. Let her make you CEO first, then divorce her. Philip's laughter followed. Then Martin's voice. After she makes me CEO, I'll divorce her. The sound ended. Silence returned like a heavy blanket. Martin's face changed shock, shame, fear. Jennifer, I can explain, he whispered. Jennifer's tears rose again. Explain why you planned to destroy me, she asked. Martin reached for her hands. She pulled back. Choose, she said, voice breaking. Are you my husband or your mother's weapon? Martin's mouth trembled. For the first time, he looked like a man drowning. Martin didn't shout. He didn't defend. He sank into the sofa slowly, head in his hands. I'm tired, he whispered. Jennifer's voice softened despite herself. Tired of what? Martin's shoulders shook. Of being called useless, he said hoarsely. Of my mother looking at me like I'm nothing. Of Philip laughing at me. They keep saying I'm not a man because my wife is successful. Jennifer's tears fell quietly. So, you wanted to punish me? Martin shook his head fast. No, I wanted to escape the shame. He confessed the secret, the old incident, the documents Lisa kept, the blackmail. She said, if I don't take leadership, she will expose me. She said, investors will run. She said, you'll leave me when you know. Jennifer covered her mouth, crying harder. Martin, she whispered, why didn't you tell me? Martin looked up, eyes red. Because you're strong, he said bitterly. and I felt small beside you. Jennifer's heart cracked in a new way. You plan divorce to prove you're a man? She asked. Martin nodded, ashamed. I hate myself for it, Jennifer whispered. Then hate it enough to stop. Martin swallowed hard. I want to, but I'm scared. Jennifer stared at him through tears. Being scared doesn't give you permission to betray. The investor gathering arrived, a polished event with cameras, suits, and the kind of smiles that hide knives. Lisa came dressed like victory, sitting front row, whispering to relatives. Philip hovered like security, eyes scanning for opportunity. Jennifer stood on stage, composed, introducing the new structure. Martin was announced as CEO. Applause erupted. Lisa's smile widened, triumphant. Jennifer clapped too, hands steady, face calm. Inside, her heart begged Martin to choose right because this was the moment that would define everything. During questions, Lisa stood suddenly and spoke loudly, pretending it was support. My son will now correct the wrong structure, she declared. A man will lead properly, and we will remove. She didn't finish because Martin stepped forward and took the microphone. The room quieted. Martin's voice trembled, but it was clear. My mother does not speak for this company, he said. Gasps. Lisa's face stiffened. Martin continued, eyes on Jennifer. Jennifer built this with her mind and sacrifice. Nobody will use my title to steal her work. Philip stood, furious. What are you saying? Martin's hands shook, but he didn't stop. I'm saying no, he said louder. No contract, no entitlement, no manipulation. Lisa's eyes burned with rage and humiliation. Jennifer's tears threatened to fall on stage, but she held them back. This wasn't victory. This was a man finally choosing integrity. Late, but real. After the event, the house was quiet again, but different. Lisa stopped calling. Philip sent threats that meant nothing under governance rules. Martin looked smaller, not from shame, but from exhaustion after finally fighting his own chains. He sat with Jennifer in the living room, hands clasped like a man, begging without words. I embarrassed my mother, he whispered. Jennifer stared at him, eyes tired. You embarrassed your marriage first, she replied softly. Martin's eyes filled. I know, he said. I'm sorry. Jennifer didn't rush forgiveness. She set boundaries like walls built from pain and wisdom. Counseling, she said. No private family meetings. Full transparency. If your mother threatens you again, you tell me first. Martin nodded quickly. Yes. Jennifer's voice softened. And Martin, you don't get to punish me for being strong. Martin's shoulders shook. I won't, he promised. Jennifer looked at her ring, turning it slowly. Love was still there but damaged, like cloth torn and stitched. She didn't know if it would ever look the same. But she knew one thing. This time, if it survived, it would survive on truth, not fear. We've come to the end of the story. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Leave a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notification. Thank you so much for watching.